My name is Ray Clay. My husband's name is Matthew Clay. My kids are CJ, Ava, and Alana. My mom was not a typical mother. She was very laid back about everything, but she would always just tell me, be a lady. That was pretty much her thing. I really, really like her. We live together and enjoy it. She's one of those people where you kind of know what she needs, and if she has that, she's good and she's happy. She's very helpful and does so much and doesn't really want the credit for anything, so she's a great person. Yes, I am a teacher and I'm about to finish up my certification to be an administrator. It's not easy, and sometimes there's some guilt involved on certain nights when I don't get to be home with them, but it's really just having, my village of people who help me out. So my mother-in-law, she moved across, the country to be here to help us. I have my sister, and then I have a really supportive husband. Both of us have busy schedules, so we try to just make sure at least one of us is home every night with the kids. So after we got married, we knew that my mom, she'd had breast cancer and she'd been diagnosed for the second time, and I had told him I wanted to just start then. So we'd agreed on it because we'd already been together for so long. And so we just started trying right after we got married. The tornado, I'll be honest, we weren't really worried about it. I hadn't really thought anything was going to happen. We weren't watching the news. We were upstairs. We had plans to go to dinner later on that night, and my neighbors were the ones who kind of alerted me to it all. So I didn't have a whole lot of anxiety about it. There's storms all the time. So we all got in the closet, and it wasn't until we actually stepped out of the house that I saw kind of what was going on. So my first thought was just, praising God that everybody was okay. And it was more of after the fact when you walked out and it felt like something in a movie. You just couldn't imagine, you can imagine how bad things could have been. I don't want to make it this traumatic thing that I have to keep going back to over and over and over again. I just know that God kept us and we were able to walk out of our house. This has been a really rough 4 months, I'm not gonna lie. We had to find a rental home. We did the hotel living for a little bit, and when you have triplets, it just doesn't work out. So I felt bad that there was just not a lot of normalcy or routine for them, so we decided to go ahead and put them in daycare. Putting them in it felt like, you can't take care of your own kids, or you can't do this and that. So I went through that for a little bit. Now that they're in daycare, I love it. It's the best thing that ever happened. I can actually come home and have, even if it's 45 minutes of time to myself, I really appreciate it. But there's so many other things that we have to worry about with the storm, like getting the house rebuilt, talking to insurance, talking to the bank, and sometimes I feel like it takes me away from being able to enjoy the moment with the kids all the time. So it was really just realizing I can't do everything myself, and try not to be so hard on myself for, not being able to give my full attention all the time. I just have to deal with what I can deal with. Everyone says I'm like the superwoman, but I know that I couldn't do anything without my family, without God, without lots and lots and lots of prayer. So my greatest victory really some days is just surviving. It's being able to be here with my kids and enjoy them. The thing that gives me the most joy definitely is when they dance. And they all kind of have different ways of dancing, so I just like to see them express themselves. My dream is for them to be happy, to be healthy, and to walk in God's promises.